back in the beginning. So let me see. This can go. Okay. Okay. We're live. So you can now go to my wall.
Yeah,
And so there's no view. Oh, there's one viewer.
It's me.
Ah,
I'm
okay. Let's go. Home. Okay. 4 people. Okay. YouTube. We're live on YouTube as well. All right. Perfect. Good. So, 8 people in total. So we can share it out. Yeah, suddenly it's 12. We can share it out, guys. Rick, Fem,
I shared it
Dal.
in the group, Lightworkers, and in my wall.
Okay, good. You can see if there's more groups that you can share.
Please.
You know. So if you just tuned in, hello, hello. We're going to speak about the launch of the website of the Global People's Monetary System, which is a system for all of us, made by all of us. And so hang in there. We're going to discuss this, giving people some time to come in. We have a Q&A in the end. Anyway, if you just tuned in, share it out to your groups. And we will begin shortly. Anything else that I can say while we're waiting?
Some music.
Some music. Yeah, I think it's an amazing date to go live, the 17th.
Mm.
It's today, the 17th of March. 3.
Yeah, indeed,
It's a
Mike.
very important number. The 3 is the catalyst, which is actually the precursor of the building blocks, number 4. So 17, 8, infinity. I say the numbers are good.
Indeed. And, one synchronicity I look at, and it was not done intentionally, is within the Bible, John 3:17 is interesting as well. So, it's, yeah. It, there's, as you can say, there's several messages contained within that date and even more. Um, you look at 17 as Q as well. And, yeah,
Yes.
lots of things you can, draw synchronicities or connections to.
Hmm. Indeed.
I will share, yeah, and I will share that without me knowing, I was given to launch it on this date several days ago. Is what was divinely given, and I didn't know until afterwards, last night. Yeah, the significance of the date. Yeah,
Okay, Rick, are you moving something? Because there's a little tick in the sound when you speak.
yeah.
Ah, okay,
Transporter crystal.
okay. Well, if you move it on the table, it's distorting the speech.
Yeah,
So just so you know.
yeah. Perfect. So, well, we have enough here now, I
Yeah,
guess, don't we, to begin.
yeah. We have almost 30 people in the house, so welcome everybody. We're going to speak about the global people's monetary system. The website is gone live today, and I'm hosting Rick. So, Rick, the floor is yours.
So thank you, and I'll start off by saying utmost gratitude to the entire team that enabled us to go live so quickly with this official worldwide website. And I'm going to say these words, and it can be, and it is written in time, that this is the most auspicious day, unprecedented time ever in the history of humanity. And indeed it is. What we have initiated to begin to collect the autographs and signatures of even children below the age of 12 to right up until, no limit to the age. So where we began today to begin to collect these autographs and bring everyone together to create the huge voice worldwide, this changes everything. And what a glorious time for it, as a result of the corona in the last year or so. It enabled ones just to, realize how much more that this is needed, and, to reflect upon wherever they may be upon the planet in their daily lives, in their existence, and how restricted it was, and really how nonsensical and ridiculous that it was. So congratulations to everyone, and we could call this a reset today because it is the beginning of the new world, a world that no one has experienced before. So it has begun, and we let it grow without expectation, and everything is divinely ascertained, and it goes divinely as it should.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Looks beautiful, the website.
Yeah.
So,
I believe there was a couple complications with it, Mike, but it's new, and we need to get these little kinks out of it. And but to my knowledge, it's been operating pretty well at this current time.
mm-hmm. Yes. All right. What's next?
Well, I wished again to thank the team that worked on this. I believe we can say there was less than 100 divine ones. Yet that was organizing the website and also the social media groups and what have you to begin the networking. So with that, there were several that were the main ones that did, a lot of the work on this. And with that, I like to, mention Christina that coordinated more or less the whole thing, and Anae, the impressive work she has done in, let's say, contacts and what have you, and even more. And Ivan on the website, Emily, Henry, you know, they have contributed a lot of their time voluntarily, and I need to mention that. Everyone was volunteered to do this, came together to get this going for humanity, and it's so great and it's so beautiful to see. So we've got it going, and utmost gratitude to all that got it up and running. And of course, there's much more work to do here. So anyone watching that wishes to assist as a global representative from your country or from your geographical area, please contact I or Christina. The website is here I think it's on the bottom of your screen, isn't it, Mike? It's on mine, the website.
Yeah, I put it there.
Yeah. So anyone can go there if you wish to be a global representative or an ambassador of the light, and these are the higher consciousness ones that have been awakened and have been prepared for this time as um, leaders in taking humanity forward. So if you're one of those, or if you just wish to contribute by getting the message out there through social media or whatever way you may assist. On the website, there is contribution area of skills, and of course, this is all volunteer. It's not about money for any of us individually getting paid for this. This is about freeing all of humanity from the control of money. And when we get this all done, it fully rewards every one of us. And the greatest things with this, poverty is eradicated in the blink of an eye. No more children on the street, no more homeless people, no more suffering and misery that was imposed and created by the governments by the deprivation uh, of many and keeping them controlled and suppressed. So we're still going forward. We're ready now for everything to grow with more contributors, more global representatives, and in whatever way that you can assist in spreading the word and use your ingenuity. Nothing is restricted, whatever way you wish. Word of mouth, or get on the phone and say, hey, to your best buddy, I just saw this and I suggest you look at it, because now you have a choice. Yeah, you can choose to stay in the old with the governments or less than 200,000 worldwide telling 7.5 billion what to do, or you can choose the 7.5 billion where everyone's happy, has everything they need, they're not deprived of anything, and especially not of money, no longer controlled, uh, freedom, no borders, no restrictions. So check out the site and you'll see what it's all about. And it's a humane package is what it's for. And again, I've said before, anyone that opposes it really is inhumane, and you can see that they have an underlying agenda or motive to attack this. And having said that, well, we are, Mike, we are going to, and we have been contacting other, big groups that we could say are awakened or sovereign groups. And what we are going to be doing, what I will do, is compile a list of ones that seem to neglect it. And I will publicly also put that out to show any individuals or even any groups uh, that do not wish to support this. I will also put that list out, as well as the list of the ones that do support it, because the public, again, needs to see if there's any groups not coming on with this and opposing it. It definitely shows their genuine intent, be it ill or be it good. And we are in times of no BS with this. The world is uniting the people. It has to be done, and if you're not supporting it, then it shows you're definitely against it. And I, for most that knows me, I don't hold back. And for most of us, we cannot be killed or eradicated. Governments can't stop this. We are sent here to do a divine mission. And there's been several attempts on my life in the past. And the last I told him, you might as well quit trying because you can't do it. But I'm not the only one. And to share with the viewers, there are many others like I that know this as well, and others that will come to know. Yeah, this is a divine mission. This is to advance humanity, and this is what we're doing.
Yes, because we need all of us to create that dream or to dream that dream. And we have been in a dream spell and now we have the opportunity to create our own dream. It's also done with spelling because you can use words, and your thoughts are words and stuff. So it's not a bad thing. But now you can do it from a different angle because you're really free. And if you start to create that, and everybody does that, then we are really dreaming it up, and it cannot but manifest. So it doesn't mean that tomorrow there's a bank account and you will be rich. For those that think, oh, where do I need to sign up for the money? It's not about that. It's about your heart signature, right?
Well, it's about signing up though, because we
Yeah,
need
I
to.
know, but not from that perspective of uh, like it's here now and where's the bank account and how do I get money. I think that people should really understand that this is something that needs to be created uh, first within yourself, um, from a very profound belief that you believe that this is so, that and that this can be true, that this can be created.
Definitely, it can be created the
Mm.
same way over centuries that banks and governments created money. Like they created it always out of thin air, and
Mhm.
just said, "Oh, but we got to need the gold to back the currency." But they assured that they had the gold to back it as well. But you don't need anything to back a currency or a money. It was their choice to use an asset backing, but you don't require it. They don't even need it. And in fact, in reality, they don't even have it. There is not enough gold or precious metals or assets in the world to actually um, cover, let's just say with the precious metals, to actually cover or asset back the money that is already out there. So, they create the illusion of that. And they created the illusion that you needed an asset backed currency so that they could maintain the control. But when you know the full truth, they don't have the assets to back it. And, through the years, I could get into this a little bit deeper, but this is why, in the panic and being frantic, the banks created all of the derivatives, to place a value on because they did not have the gold and all of this to substantiate their claims that the money was asset backed. So it became a form of fiat money, which is just actually created out of thin air. So take the power away from the less than 200,000 that were creating the money, and we activate the power of the people to create the money. And having done so with this, when we do it, you do need the methods of slight control onto it. You cannot just, even though the money is unlimited, no one will ever have to worry about money again. But you still need these measures of control to assure that everything doesn't shut down globally. And
Mm. I think our concept of being needs to change first before we can handle that.
what was that?
That we need a change of concept before we can handle infinite money or infinite stream of.
Yeah. It's surprising for a lot to do that. So you can look at this. What we activate is a blanket on top of the money one already has, and this is free money that is coming in, and at the same time, loans and credit and debt. Well, credit exists, but debt and loans, these sort of instruments,
Mhm.
no longer exist. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's full. The plan with this is just totally full of all goodies, and just one go and look, and because
There's,
it's
there's
for
no
the people.
there's no side effects.
Yeah, the side effects is complete joy, stress-free life, and family, and good things for the children, and
I call that bonus. I don't call that side effects. I call that bonus.
well, those are the only ones. Yeah. So, having said that, any spiritual teachers out there as well that is watching this, this becomes invaluable to assisting ones if you have your spiritual uh, businesses as teachers, or even intuitive coaches that you were. Uh, immediately by giving someone this will heal them, because it gives them a hope, but more than that, it's a reality. And very quickly, it can alleviate stress, and you're going to have, some happy people that you've been assisting.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's all good. Um, so, what we'll have, if I may continue a little bit, Mike, because I have a list here and I don't want to be too lengthy,
Sure.
because we'll take some questions and answers at the end. Uh, So again, we'll have many groups, just to let the viewers know that over the last decade, there's many groups worldwide that were, individual, doing their own thing, but the same sort of thing. So we're in the time now for all these groups to converge, join us, unite with us, and we create it all together. This is not about Rick George. This is not about the group that set it up. It's about creating the platform for the unity of all of the people globally. So we just unite. It's no joining us under Rick George or the global people's monetary system. It's uniting. We have this name, and that's what this is about. It's for all of the people of the world, and it's all inclusive with that by individual choice. Again, no governments can stop this. None of that. The people are the actual law. I like to say, distinguish between the people and the government's what they call legal systems. There is a difference with it. A law is absolute law, which is above legal. And having said this, it's always the individual law of the person is always above any governmental laws. The simplicity of law is do not physically harm another. That is how simple law actually is. It is the foundation of it. And law has been broken by every government upon the planet, and every ruler that was ever upon the planet over the last millennia, if you will. So we're switching all that as well. Enough is enough, and everyone get together. It's such again, with what has happened with the lockdowns and the corona. The stage has been perfectly set for the people to assume a power and enact the people's law fully with it to take things forward. Enough is enough. So, having said this, globally, there are what they call, what do I have here? Uh, the many worldwide demonstrations, Demo 2021, worldwide demonstrations. These rallies, what many of you see that are planned for March 20th, uh, it's growing very rapidly. And as we know, all of the protests that over the last few years all over the world is growing and growing. And it shows the complete unrest of the people. But again, you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg of the amount of protesters uh, when it's publicized truthfully. So there's a lot more that are not on the streets but support this as well. So it's actually the majority of the people upon the planet have knowing they have this choice. They're going to take it. So it's the time that it takes for the word to get around, and but it can happen very rapidly. So what we're doing, as I said, if governments and banks had humane interests, what we're doing could have been done in 2 days. However, as we know, their interests were not humane, and they like to.
We would not have had the need to do this.
Yeah, exactly. Indeed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If their
So,
intentions were good, exactly.
yeah,
Um,
long story short.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's about the written and unwritten laws to make it clear for people that don't understand what you mean. Like there's laws that are unwritten and everything written by men. We should really look at it very, very closely to
well,
understand
exactly. Yeah,
understand what that is.
yeah, 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 indeed. Yeah, there is the real rule of law. Yeah, which is not adhered to by governments in the past. Um, so, anyone, I'd like to just say, Mike, anyone at these worldwide rallies scheduled for March 20th all around the world, and there's more every second popping up. Um, anyone watching this, uh, if you have the liberty, please print something off, or if you know what I'm speaking about, if you're able to speak at these rallies, I would suggest to speak at the end, given the people, showing them that this choice is there and this is actually, what you are protesting to get your rights back. But this is the next level that you support, and we all go into this. So you're protesting for your rights is actually not in vain, and you don't have to ask the governments for it. You simply join, and we create it uh, right here. And this is again with the worldwide autographs and signatures of everyone putting their voice together to create the one voice. There is nothing governments or anything can do about it other than comply with it and support it if they're for the people. And very quickly, if they don't comply with it and if they don't support it and they oppose, then it only even more blatantly shows their ill intent, or what their underlying intent and motives actually are. Um, with the divine law on the website, we will be working on this. It's maybe on the website, it's not there yet. However, we are simplifying it because we need more input from the people and the sovereign groups to have a nice package with that and to keep it very simple. So that is coming. Um, also, I anticipate the World Freedom Alliance to be uh, connected here soon as well with this. And as we get more groups coming in, as I mentioned earlier, uh, ones with the same interests, what we will do is comprise the list, or say, okay, we just such and such just united with us, and to let you know. And for anyone watching, the World Freedom Alliance is a huge group already established. It was established last year. Because of the corona, it has thousands of expert professional doctors, scientists. I think at one point there was 70 or 80,000 registered nurses that are also part of this, and I suspect many more now. So you're actually perhaps probably close to 100,000 of experts that know what was going on with Corona, how it's a fraud. So you have the expertise right there that are awakened as well to support this. And so that's great. So you can anticipate that huge group coming on board. There are a few other very big groups as well that I am not mentioning on here right yet, but fully anticipate that they must converge and unite with us as well. So there's another one out there. I believe she used to call herself Kim Possible or Kim Go Gan or what have you. I suggest that anyone watching this get a message to her to join us. I had reached out to her, but for whatever reason that she did not connect yet. So she would be great to have her. With this too, I'm going right through my list very quickly, Mike, to get it done.
Mhm.
Also, what I suggest, any of you encountering, it's what you call like is trolls, but I need to say that the governments, they have, and you can even find this information online, they will tell you that they have specific ones hired that goes in, when governments will perhaps ask for comments on something. They actually have hired ones that goes in there that steers the comments to get it to go with what the government's the topic to be steered the way they want it. So I need to let you know also that these governments, and you can even say the dark ones, uh, they have these trolls as well that they put on all of the message boards. And so for any of you that are maybe seeing any attacks on this, well, you quickly know that these are paid touts by the governments and what have you, just to try to discredit and to stop this from happening. So just to also say where I see them, uh, this is so beautiful because it also shows the great fear that they have. Else you would not see them attacking this or attacking individuals. Whenever you see anyone attack, they attack out of fear. And anyone that knows the light, you do not attack. You do not provoke. You can defend yourself if you wish, but you don't even really need to do that. So anyone that you see attacking, I suggest to look a little bit deeper at what is their agenda and what are they trying to instill. And, the old masters of darkness, if you will, masters of deception, that's what they attempt to do. It's one of their tactics to instill fear and confusion and distortion. So use your discernment with your heart when he's seeing that. And I suggest don't be too much distracted and keep on focus with everything you're doing, especially the global representatives and contributors taking this forward. This is for humanity, and you are, you could say, the chosen ones to do this from your heart. Ones of you that are playing a deeper role in this and getting it. So it was amazing tonight, Mike, at the supper table. I wish to share a beautiful story what occurred.
All right.
Yeah, so we're in the Netherlands here, and we're in a camper, and we fortunately got this camper so that it will accommodate us. Plus, it's our vehicle as well, and we actually needed to be mobile around here and have our flexibility while doing other work in the Netherlands. And we actually got this camper, I believe, at the same price or probably cheaper than what we could have to just get a vehicle. So this is great. Now, having said this, we're at a friend of Femke's and now a friend of mine as well, and his daughter and son, and Them and I and our new friend Frankie. Uh, so we were sitting at the supper table tonight, and Femke, do you want to share any of this? How it went, or
Well,
I'll let Femke share a bit because this was very interesting. Now, also keep in mind before Femke begins to say about this, keep in mind that the children, to my knowledge, had no inkling about the global people's monetary system.
no, they're not so good in the English language. They're two beautiful children from the Waldorf school. And Rick stand up because he went back to the bus to do the work.
What's their age?
Flynn is 9 and Pip is 13.
13?
Yes.
All right.
And Flynn is a beautiful open boy, and he popped out suddenly the question in Dutch when Rick walked away from why are we not allowed to vote? So I called
vote?
Rick back. Yeah, to vote.
Yeah.
Because it's about his future. And then after the question was, another beautiful question was, why do we have to pay for everything?
Yeah, and you know what's so amazing is that there was no discussion about the global people's monetary system or anything that, from their divine souls, these questions just arose there at the table. And I was so happy, well, all of us really, because very quickly I said, you need to know about what we're doing with the global people's monetary system, where they asked, why can't we vote? And so with that, I said, actually, you
can vote.
Yeah. And this is, for the viewers, what we're doing today. Actually, we had a 7-year-old child, male, that actually signed the website, under the supervision of his mom, but he understood it. So, that is a broad statement when it's that simple, that a 7-year-old child understood it. And
Amazing.
and more so, again, with what Flynn said tonight, like out of the blue as well, but it come from his soul. He said, why isn't everything free? So again, with that, I love that because this is what we're doing for humanity. Every person should have their home and have a vehicle, and this is what's included in this plan for everyone around the world, and also for every man, woman, and child, these payments. And it puts them in a place of full abundance and comfort.
And control.
Yeah, and taking that control away from the governments that created the poverty, deprivation, suffering, misery, sickness, even death, because of what the governments, let's say, with, some of the seniors, with depriving them of not enough money to even live on, the ones that actually built everything with these seniors, you can look back over the last 40 years. They were the actual ones that built all the infrastructure here today, and like deprive them of money like that. So
the children, they got it.
the children know. Thank you. Yeah.
They know.
So the point of this
Yeah.
is that it's ingrained within the children's soul. So they were not compromised by the programming of the matrix or the system. They have it in here, and it cannot be robbed from there. And
Exactly.
they know, that the way things are out there, children. They said we can't vote. Why can't we? But now they can with this, and this is what we're doing.
it brings me back to the conversation that we had with, I'm not going to mention his name because, but you know, and wonderful child, let's keep it like that, uh, gave us some beautiful answers about, and also questions, but it saw that this will solve greed. And so children are really very perceptive, much
Yeah,
more than the grown-ups.
Because it's logic, it's simple.
yeah, yeah,
Al says because it's logic.
yeah, yeah. It's a, I like to say I like to say it's common sense. However, I've heard in the past that common sense sometimes, ones say that perhaps ones don't have that, but you don't even need the common sense. In the extreme logic and rationale to discern when you have a choice. It's that simple.
Mhm.
And,
For a child that is 8, 7, 9, common sense, it doesn't exist in how we now try to put it as a label. It's just
Nature.
nature. Yeah, nature.
okay, yeah, I love that. Yeah. The inner knowing, yeah, it's then I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
So absolutely beautiful, and
Before they
yeah,
were
just
like that.
so roughly with some figures I had checked before a month or so ago. I believe it was 1.5 billion children. I believe it was the statistics that I read from the global population that if we allowed ones down to a certain age, that there could even be about 1.5 billion that could even consent to this. That's below the age of 18. And
Mm.
this has given them their voice for the future as well, because they rightfully have it. I mean, if you look at any child, the way the systems were, let's look at the U.S. as a prime example. How uh, with that, you would have a child perhaps going into daycare as young as 3, but a school, and then years of college after they graduated from high school. So you can look at 20 plus years of learning, and then
Program.
and when they come out of university, slapped with a huge debt, and that took them years to constantly working hard to pay it off, some of them, and like it's so nonsensical, right? And it just sometimes it's pretty amazing. And when you looked at if you look at the global statistics yet today, how they figure out debt, the last time I looked, about 2 years ago, I think, that every child that as soon as they were born in the US, their share of the country's debt, I think it was around 60,000 US dollars. So they were born with that was their debt, just the day they were born. In Canada,
Mhm.
I think it was a little bit less, maybe 35 or 36,000 Canadian. But I mean, how ridiculous is that? And this is what some of the statistics that they would put out. So
Mm.
they're brought into the world owing money, but I mean, again, that's part of the ridiculous control by the governments. And how absurd is that, and
It is.
when this is no more. But yeah, that's the actuality in every country around the world. You would do that when you figured up their gross national debt and do it per capita, and do the way they show you to do economics. And when you do it, you say, whoa, like, a child's born with a bill in the back of his diaper, 60 grand. Like, how ridiculous is that?
Yeah,
And,
I think they made a mistake with the word. It's not economy, it's econ on me.
Yeah. So yeah, no more. Many uh, are waking up, and the experts and professionals, as I said, and with the World Alliance. But these are people that said, yeah, it's enough of these foolish games, and yeah, so
Mm.
it's happening very quickly. Yeah, and this is unstoppable. It's imminent. What we're doing here, people, it does get done. Uh, as we said earlier, 2 days. If your governments and had you in mind and was actually there for your interests, in 2 days they could do this. Once we gather this voice globally, and again, nothing stops it. I anticipate in 6 months that, or even before, that this could be done. It's a matter of collecting the signatures to make the voice. If it at that time, if it still needs to be I to speak, I will speak globally as I always do. Nothing shuts me up. However, we know there's going to be a huge team that I might not even need to speak, as the World Alliance is doing. These incredible professionals in their field, in the legal field, in the old banking field, in the scientist field, in the medical field. These are experts that are there. So we have so many that are what we call the higher consciousness, and the competent ones that knows what needs to be done now for humanity, and it's happening.
Mm. Yes, yes. I felt like addressing something.
Hmm.
Are you done, or do you want to
I'm
go to?
done. I'm done. Please speak.
Okay, so before we go to the questions, then
Yeah.
I want to address something that that I think is important. I saw today some people not wanting to support this because of someone, or maybe a few people. And I want to say, if you are watching, that that is really silly, because it's not about any one of us that is bringing this. And
I think
you
it's
should,
personal.
huh?
I think it's personal.
Yeah, it's not personal. It's actually for us all. So if you are still there in that place, then I ask you to go inside and see if you would join that system, if it would exist, or if it was not us, would you join it then? Would you sign it then? Where are you really? And um, your choice is, of course, respected. Um, but I urge you to look at it, because we have to do this together, and we cannot be in that separating mode. And again, it's not about us, but it is for us all. And we're just the ones that are bringing it out. And I think it should be brought out by a lot of people, so that we will not be in the foreground, any of us that took this step. So that is what I want to say about that.
Thank you, Mike. I'd like to add, whoever it may be, these ones, even if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for the children, that are starving, and that have to live on the streets, that have been deprived of at least a good, healthy existence. So, think. And with this, this is not the system. It's not taking away anything from anyone. You could be a millionaire watching this. It goes on top of what you have. If you wish to register, all this does, it's just the disparity between the classes that were created. What this does is bring all of the people that were suffering up to a comfortable level. And there is more than enough food in the world to go around. The technology is here to assure that. There is no reason for anyone starving or any child uh, to have lack or have sickness or be starving. That is absolutely no longer acceptable. So, having said that, if you are wealthy, if you don't need it for yourself, at least support this for the children or the ones that don't have anything. So, because this is it's not a selfish thing what we are doing again. So it's
Claro.
yeah, it's for all those that don't have much.
Yes. Yes. So don't look at us, just listen to the message. The message.
And it's the greatest. Yeah,
Bottle.
it's the greatest thing everyone will ever do is being a part of this now. So there's no grievances held against any of uh, the good rich people by me. I want you to come in and support this. There are wealthy good people there, as well as we know there were wealthy dark ones, but there are wealthy good people there, and come in and support this and assist many. This is your ability. Perhaps you were a millionaire in the past. You would send a little bit of money to charity. Hey, look, it didn't solve it. There's still children that are starving. This solves it. This plan. Get informed, and its poverty is wiped out within months just by creating this huge voice.
All right. Give me a moment so that I will open.
I suggest don't be too much distracted and by creating this huge.
Open day. All right. So, any questions? We are here. So shoot. I'm looking on Facebook and on YouTube. YouTube, not a lot of stuff. Okay. All right. Good. So, if there's any questions, please shoot.
Well, that's good. If there isn't any questions, we can wrap her up early.
Yeah.
Mike, did you have the chat activated? I didn't this time.
Yeah, but there's not a lot. Let's go through it. Okay. I also think we should clear the word trolls because it has an energetic signature. What is a troll? Somebody that is what, a nice person, or no? We should throw away also those labels. Just look at what's coming and see what's resonating, and what's not resonating, delete it or block it or whatever you do. But do it with love, not from any anger. Just separate yourself from that energy, and that's it. Don't name it. Don't energize it. Actually,
Yeah, I agree.
they like to be called
Yeah.
trolls. They like to be called evil because evil is actually life in mirror. Right? Oh, okay. So there's people in here that want to comment in a certain way, and so I don't know what they're doing here, but it's okay. Everybody is free to write what they want. Could you maybe just describe it in a few words how this would work what will be done, etc., is it is still a bit unclear to me, says Doreen Verkley.
Yeah. Do you wish to answer that, Mike, or like to keep it?
How it works in a few words. No, I'd rather give it to you. I think.
Okay, great. Yeah. Well, to keep it very simple, uh, what how this would work. What you do is you create the voice of the people of, let's say, I love the magic number of between 1 billion to 1.7 billion consenting. At that time, you have a huge voice with 1.7 billion that outweighs the population of any individual country. And this makes it a majority voice of the world. And what this does, it means with that voice, it has to be fully acknowledged and it cannot be ignored. So then, when you have a voice that big, it also enacts what we you enact a law that you are an authority as well. And so with that, it gives where you become an authority, it gives you within the old system the authority to create a currency as well, because you become the most dominant voice upon the planet. And with that, then your authority is established upon the planet to create. So to keep it simple, when you have that many people that have consented, you have the voice created, and then this creates what you wish. And what we wish is to create your unlimited money, which you don't need any asset backing other than yourself for the very reason that you exist. Money is created. If none of us were not on the planet, if there was no humans there would not be any money because humans created the money, to keep it simple. So, how it works, it is very simple. You begin, it's in the divine plan, what we have written for anyone to look at the site. We just keep creating the comfort money, and it keeps getting shared to all, and it puts you in the lowest, most poorest person in the world immediately. It puts them in a comfort and an abundant um, an abundant state that they never had before. So it takes away all of the worry, the misery. But then at the same time, as I mentioned, you have a rich one that's got, this extra comfort money if they wish to have it. And then you begin a global sharing if they wish to share. If the billionaires or millionaires don't, they can keep their money because it's the old money. So very quickly, once you have this voice, a money is created. It becomes the dominant money of the world when it's supported by the people. And I could go.
Well,
Uh,
she asked in a few words.
oh, in a few words, yeah. We don't print the money. See, the infrastructure is already here globally. The way that payments are transferred around the world, like most of the people, you have a plastic card or you're part of a digital monetary system, and actually all the money in that digital system, it doesn't there's no paper to back it, it's always created. So very quickly you and where the people own the system, all of the infrastructure, very quickly you just use that to distribute the funds.
Hmm. Somebody's asking, how will the bankers just accept this? Well, they won't, but they will also not exist in that way anymore because that's all going to change very rapidly, very soon. And I could say nothing is going to stay the same in that matter.
Exactly. But let me say this: when you have 1.7 billion people here, what crazy banker is going to go against that? What crazy government is going to even try to go against that? But then also, once you have 1.7 billion, the rest of humanity very quickly are going to join with this. This is their full freedom and most beautiful existence ever that wipes out all debt and frees them completely. So it becomes what you would call a no contest for any government or bank to oppose that. And with simple numbers, when you look at minorities and majorities, and when you look at what is humane and what would be inhumane by trying to keep people in misery, very quickly, if banks are not supporting this and are against it, it shows what their intent of these ones. So it all works out very rapidly. So we will use a digital money because it's all that is used now. If you were to go worldwide and see how much actual physical cash is out there to cover the money in circulation, you would probably find it's less than 5%, maybe less than 1%. So currently, globally, all of the money is created out of thin air digitally. So we just use the system.
Hmm. And then printed on trees.
uh, we just use the system to transfer funds to everyone to alleviate all of the misery that was created by the banks and the governments. Yeah. They're
So,
not, as we said earlier, they're not going to do it. The people need to do it themselves, and that's what's occurring. I'm just administrating, initializing it, and there'll be ones administrating this and assuring it.
hmm. Okay, somebody asked Mylene Kana, when will it start, please? Short answer, Rick.
Oh, it already started. Today was our launch. It's begun, to create the voice. So we create the voice. Once we have the voice created, then, we see who's on side to make it easy to begin the distribution. And I'd say within 2 to 6 months, in about 6 months, we can have everyone upon the planet in a comfort zone and stress free from any debt, any money, no worries, having all of the food they need, having a home, having a vehicle, all of this.
All right.
I see Linda asked, what about gold and silver? As far as we're concerned with this, gold and silver, you can have it for jewelry or a keepsake. It really it doesn't have any value from the people. That is part of the old what bankers and governments made you try to make you think that you needed something to back the currency. But in reality, as I just mentioned, they don't have enough to back the currency they print. That is part of the
Just
old
a second.
bankers and governments made you try to make you think.
I had a glitch.
Mhm.
All right. Okay. So would we have a wallet like Bitcoin?
No, you just have a credit account in the beginning that the money is deposited into. So you have a credit account, and what we can very quickly do is, for ones that don't have a plastic card in remote villages, what you do is have what you call some missionaries or volunteers going in, uh, providing them with everything that they need.
Hmm.
So you don't, but you have your digital accounts for everyone that has a digital bank account. Yeah, you can have that just to check where your credit is at. But it's your money. When I say credit, it is your actual money. No one never pays this to anyone. We just keep creating the funds, the credit for ourselves. But we do need to keep an order on it. We do need to keep it connected to one thing, like contributing a certain amount of hours per month to the community, which again is way less than what you were doing. For example, if you worked a 40-hour work week, very quickly you would only need to work 40 hours a month, just approximately, to show you. And one of the reasons why is because you're going to have so much of the irrelevant workforces that for in the old insurance agency industry, for example, there's no requirement for any insurance with this new system. So you have many workers there that can be reallocated to other areas. So you have, if you were to do an in-depth study worldwide, you would see there's many irrelevant jobs to advance society. They are actually looping jobs. Like, let's take in the government's office with fees and registrations, maybe with your vehicle. You no longer have that. These are jobs that become irrelevant. So if you have someone that's in there doing a administration job for a government, it's no longer required. So they can go and work at whatever their passion is that contributes to society in another way. And when you look at the militaries very rapidly, there is no requirement for militaries when you have everyone sharing. There is nothing to fight for, especially what they would call riches and money. So you no longer need militaries like you had. Your crime rate goes way down instantly once you remove that stress. Um, I would say over 90%, or maybe even over 95% of the crime in the world is caused due to stress of money somehow. This is where you have your stress of money, the greed of money, and that's where. So very quickly, when you wipe that out, you eliminate almost all crime.
Yeah. Children understand this stuff, understand this. So, we can too.
Yeah, yeah, and ones with the restrictions again, with the lockdown, over the last year, many have time to look at things, to look at how things were, and now here we come along with this solution for humanity with just a choice. So they had a lot of time to contemplate on uh, being humiliated to the utmost and just giving away all the rights. So they know what that's like. Now this choice is here, and all they need to do is to unite together. Uh, just autograph their support, and this is superior. This is created, and the governments and what have you are inferior with it.
Yeah, indeed. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else? Okay, Doreen is asking, some people work 50 or more hours a week. That work will not become less, will it? I'm trying to understand.
But he's
No.
suffering.
I'm trying to understand how to explain this to loved ones, for instance.
It's best for anyone asking questions again to look at the website and the divine plan and become as familiar with it as you can. When you sit down to read it, sit down comfortably with a coffee and don't rest or don't rush and assure that you read the sentence so that you know what it says and to get the general idea of it. And now one's also on the website, we have a question and answer place, with frequently asked questions. So, your answer might be there, and that's a great place. Anyone visiting the website to look at the question and answers as well. And you can get much more. You might only have one question, but when you look at the frequently asked questions, you'll say, oh, there's something else I'd like to know. And it may also be answered for you with that. Also, uh, I believe if it's not up now, it'll be up shortly. On the website, we have a comparison page too that you can reference. You could say, this is what you have now, and this is what the new is about. And this makes it easier for you to have a choice what you wish to support. So we put a comparison of what you have now and what you are supporting for your future. So it assists.
All right. Okay. Morgana says, so in 2 to 6 months, we are all going to be comfortable if we sign, you say. It seems legit. And then there is some icons. I would like to answer that no, that's not what we said at all, really. It's possible that something big can happen in 2 to 6 months, but that's not what we're saying, and we're not doing it. It has to be a collective effort that everybody understands that they should not pay taxes. You should not buy a house in these conditions. You should not have loans with a high rate. How do you say that? Interest on it. We have been fucked from the moment that we are born, and I say, don't you want to turn that around?
Oh, absolutely. You don't need taxes for one thing. You don't need loans and interest that you got to pay back. That's absolute nonsense. So you don't need that. See, anything with any tax and anything with what they call as debt is a looping, boxed in system. It's a boxed in economy that restricts everyone, and it's done intentional. What we're doing is an open ended flow that rapidly advances humanity forward, because there is no lack, there is no restrictions like taxes and looping systems that keeps one's looping. This is unprecedented what we're doing. It's never been done before, but now it is time to do it, and it is being done. We had many ventures towards this. One's creating the crypto. Hey, look, it's established. But when you look at when crypto was first introduced, the banks, no, that'll never work, and the government. But look what happened with Bitcoin and these other currencies. So it shows it's very real. And the ones what we're speaking about creating the money, the ones that created these cryptos, they're entrepreneurs, but they knew they could not be stopped either. That's why now it exists. This is the same as us. We cannot be started. So this, you could say, we are though going to create the one major currency, which you could say could be like it's a digital currency, but it can't be stopped. Again, once you have once you have the majority of the people upon the planet, the monetary system is created, and you don't even need the majority, as I said before. So it's inevitable and imminent.
Hmm. Yes. And the banks are creating from these funds that existed long before whatever. And so, they are just the only ones that know how to use these uh, funds or tools or whatever you want to call it,
So
money or.
they're actually just schemes, and that's the way everything was designed. But with their schemes to keep things intact, they create a lot of misinformation and complex, let's say, complex misinformation, so they keep the truth hidden from the reality of what they were doing. And the reality is, they have, let's say, like one say, two sets of books. The false book they show to the people. Oh, the economy is crashing. There's no money, in here, and we got to be careful what we do. That is the fake set of books. But then they're over here with their other set of books. Oh, I need 500 grand to buy a yacht, or while everyone else is locked down. Um, I'm a politician. I live in Canada, let's say. I'm going to go to Hawaii for vacation while everyone else has to stay home. These sort of things are all being revealed of the illusionary things, what they tried to show people. So, yeah, there's been two sets of books always. Their books or other set of books is their unlimited accounts, because
Yeah.
they just created money themselves and just interject it into the economy. Then they make up these schemes to keep one distracted, that they're laundering money in offshore accounts. But that's all part of the illusion as well, because the more they can keep one distracted by looking at all these lesser things, they're not seeing the real big picture. And that is their intent, to take that and rob it from everyone. That is the inhumane intent. Because
Yeah.
in actuality, when you look at governments, there should not be any crime, because governments have all of this technology. They can look right in your window with a satellite and see exactly what you're doing. But yet you have all these criminals in the world. No, it's because the governments
Oh,
are the criminals and part of it. And yeah, so it's all just a game that is made up with the money.
yeah. All right. So I guess that covers most of the questions. I guess, if you still have questions, I would say see the video again, because I think most of it is covered. It's very simple. Um, you are actually worth a lot of money, but no one ever told you, and nobody told you that you should not be paying tax. But you are paying tax now. Would you still be paying tax if you knew you should not have to pay tax? That is actually not legal, not lawful. Would you still be paying tax, or would you say, fuck that? Excuse my French, but fuck that? So it's really about the message here, about who are we, and most of us don't grasp that concept yet of who we truly are. And so I really would advise people to look into natural law versus admiralty law, see what was, and to get yourself an understanding of what you have been living in, because it is really totally not what you think it is. And you have to do your homework. We all need to understand that we have an inalienable right to travel, free speech, thinking, breathing, being, dancing, laughing, and going wherever you want to go on this planet. And if you don't agree with that yet, then I would really suggest you to research this. Is this really true?
Indeed, everyone upon the surface that are good, they know in their hearts what's right or wrong. There doesn't have to be a written law. These are your morals in your ethics, and and yeah, I could go on and ramble, but I'm not.
No, this is very important, because your ethics are based on the beliefs that you have. And so you think it's moral to go pay your taxes and to snitch on your neighbor because he's not wearing a mask. And it makes a lot of things, your actions are being directed through that. So it is time to stand still and look at things. And, there's famous people that say this, that there's a guy called Russell J. Gold, and he is a postmaster plenipotentiary judge. I don't know how all those titles are, but he
Yeah.
is an amazing guy that studied this shit for a long time. He went through hell and he studied their laws and their language, and he found that all contract is actually null and void because they don't hold up. Um, 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 how do you say that? Um, um, they don't give you the correct language, and they withhold from you. They're not telling you the truth and nothing but the truth. And so they have already broken their own contracts, rules, regulations, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, there's so many perspectives as well that can come in and show how the old systems, what they call the legal systems, are actually null and void. And if there was integrity within governments and the way their governmental systems and judicial systems were set up, you would not find any of these inconsistencies or, let's say, contradicting things that would compromise fully their judicial system. If it was based on simple integrity, one would not be able to find faults within it. They'll say that law evolves, but it evolves if they wish for it to go that way to keep complicating it. But what they had to do over the course of time to keep their law intact, they had to make many versions of it. And the further that they made stringent restrictions, it got to a point that it had to collapse because they invalidated the entire uh, system that they had, and it just could not hold up. One of the biggest compromises of what they call their judicial systems today is that the conflict of interest with any judge. In reality, if a judge is paid a salary from the government, he is obligated to the government, but it creates a conflict of interest. So immediately, the judge is unable lawfully to judge anyone because he is biased because of his employment. The only true way, lawful way, is for one not to be influenced by anything, to be the true mediator of whatever crime. So,
Mm.
that's one reason why all of what they call every country, their legal system is actually null and void. It
Mm.
contradicts itself, so it's invalid and it also implodes. But we could go on and on.
Yeah.
And hey, thank you so much for joining here. And I'm seeing a lot of your comments and just amazing, impressive work, Anae Nell, and she is part of the team that has assisted greatly with getting the website up and running and uh, doing a lot of the logistics. So it's excellent. Thank you, Anae. I'm very impressed with your divine abilities. And so much gratitude having you here.
Okay. Um, let's see. Um, self-educate. Okay. So I see that there is quite some off-topic questions, which we are not going to discuss in this live because I would not see the purpose of that. So if there's any questions still connected to this subject, and no, that's basically that. Mhm. All right. I think we did what we had to do tonight. Um, nobody teaches you about the birth certificate and what it really means. How are we to know? So, Doreen, this is exactly something that you can look up on the internet. You know, if I can find it, you can find it as well. And there's many people being busy with this. Um, and so you just have to know about it. You don't have to really do something because you can claim your autonomously, no, your autonomy. You can claim it just by stating it for yourself right here, right now.
Uh,
So
if I may, what I wish to suggest, you're speaking about what we called in the past sovereignty, autonomy, and detaching from an old system. We are at the point now that all of that groundwork were done, that a certain proportion of the populace worldwide has has separated from the system. However, all of their beautiful work has set the precedent for this now, meaning that you just create the new, and the new is, it doesn't require detachment from the old legal system. You're supporting this new, and you have the choice. So you don't need to go, unless you wish to, through all the processes of your sovereignty decrees and all of the sovereign law. That battle has been won for all of you that are going to be put in your consent here. It was won by the sovereignty teachers and warriors that have set the precedent for where we are at now. So it's
mm,
no longer required for every individual worldwide to detach from an old system. You are at the point where we're creating the new, and it is the absolute superior system that you don't need to, unless you want to, you don't need to detach from the old system. The simplicity is during this transitional period is just don't consent to the old system with it.
yeah, the transformation to the new you didn't require any signing of documents either. So it's just a new consciousness that you don't need to look back anymore or to detach from anything.
Exactly. You are your own guardian and you have your own consent. No one else can tell you what to do.
Yes,
And,
but
and that,
it is important to know how to speak to certain people that dress as police officers or what have you. It is good to know how to speak and what to say and what not to say. So
well, exactly.
if
And I
if
do
people would
agree.
like
And
to
that,
get informed on that, I think we should do a live on that maybe,
yeah,
or
yeah.
because I think that's more important today than it ever was to really understand what you can say.
Well, indeed. And, Dolores Cahill with the World Freedom Alliance, she's a perfect example in that area, showing ones how they enact their own authority and how police or whatever are inferior to that once one knows this. And, very quickly, we're also at the point with what we call the monetary liens from the old system that very rapidly any police that is detaining you, you just immediately slap monetary liens on them if they prevent you from going anywheres. And you put these monetary liens from what we call outside of the box, you put them against the governments and the establishment as well if you need to. And what occurs when you register these liens, and if they're not publicly accountable, accounted for within the governments in the legal system, then it shows that they are concealed, which is fraud. So then, so they cannot win. But know the power, your time, every one of you watching this, your time is valuable. And if you're stopped like Dolores by a police officer, you got to say, okay, I charge this much an hour. You say to the police, and if they continue, the individual police must pay it, because the individual police has a choice at that time to proceed
Contract.
illegally or to proceed lawfully and just say, go upon your way, madam, everything is fine.
It's about contract. It's about contracting or not contracting.
Well, it's, yeah, they put it that way, yes.
No,
If they
that's
want
that's
to
how she
debate
puts it. That's how she puts it.
yeah,
If you hold me here for 3 hours, then you are contracting with me, and these are my terms. And she gives them a paper which says $4,500 an hour, and if you wish to engage that, then this is the consequence.
yeah, exactly, and that's the one powerful way to do it.
Because
However,
because they are actually trying to get you to contract with them. And so if you answer the questions wrong, you have entered a contract. And so they can do to you whatever they want. That's how
you
they
need to,
work.
yeah, we'll leave that. There's another layer onto this that no, you cannot be tricked into any, because that is enticing and trickery, which is actually illegal. And it does not, to put another layer on this, which I will not go now because it's not needed, but there is another layer to that where they have no authority whatsoever.
Oh, this
But
is not what I mean. This is not what I mean. I mean, people like what she was explaining, that most of the people don't know this, and so they are held for hours, and they are going in quarantine, and because they don't know what to say. And so if you know what to say, they will not contract with you because they know, and if they know that you know, they will back off.
exactly, too, yeah. And it's been ones like Dolores, that set this precedent to actually educate the police. But it also, it makes the mark within the legal system, because there needs to be a report filed by the police. It needs
Yes.
to be documented, and
Yes.
this puts it right into the system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it further exposes and reveals the governments, because we all know Dolores, uh, she went through everything, and they
Yes.
could not stop her. So this is a basis of law already within their legal system, showing that anyone that does not consent has the full right to walk right through everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been many that has contested this. To your viewers, again, to our viewers with this, the sovereignty groups have been doing this and practicing it, for years. And actually, what the governments have done is discriminated against all of the people that didn't know.
All right. Good.
So,
1.5 hours. I think it's long enough.
yeah, I'd say it's a smoke break. Anyone that knows me, I did well, huh? The whole hour and a half without a cigarette.
So I say, if there's any questions, we will do another live soon, I guess, for new questions that arise or updates or whatever it is that we want to share with you. So, yeah, any last words?
Just again, congratulations to everyone for this new now. Mike was going to touch on it that, again, I feel this can be done within 2 to 6 months. That's what I feel. I know it can be, but it's dependent upon when we create that voice of 1.7 billion. So this depends on each one of you that's watching this. and getting that word out there. The quicker we get the voice created,
Clarify on that. What will be done or what could be done according to your feeling in 2 to 6 months?
in 2 to 6 months, I feel as early as 2 months, we could possibly begin to act, to have the inception, to begin to put funds into people's accounts.
Mm-hmm.
See, let me say this. I mean, it's an easy choice. And once we have enough out there purveying the choice to the others so they understand it enough, this is an upward straight curve, but it's an upward that the incline becomes almost horizontal. So I could do it this way. Again, like let's say if two people knows right here, 1, 2, but they tell two people very quickly you have 4. So at an exponential rate, what happens is that boom, it's a big wide V, meaning that very rapidly, exponentially, this voice is created if each
Mm-hmm.
one just keeps passing it on.
Yes.
And
So what I know that there is already how do you say that, humanitarian projects going on this earth, and those humanitarian projects are funded by these infinite funds. And so if you understand that that's already happening, then you can understand that the creation of such organizations even or projects are possible. It's happening already. So it's just a matter of getting the
indeed,
people to
Saying yes.
say yes. Yeah. And then it will develop itself really.
Say yes, take action.
Mhm.
Sign.
Say yes, take action, and sign, and yeah. All right. Anything else, or we're out of here? Out of here.
yeah, I believe that's enough for tonight. And again, thank you everyone that volunteered all of your hours to uh, get the website launched and your continuing work. And I am absolutely impressed with all of the major contributors with us. I don't know them all, but uh, so many stepped up to the plate. However, we need everyone to do this to make it happen quicker. So, having said that, again, just thank you all. And yeah, it's very important. Every man, woman, and child looks at this and put your consent, your autograph, your signature on it if it feels right with you. And let's get this done and do what was never done before, and just free yourself, you free your children, you free your entire future. And we get rid of all of this inflicted misery, poverty, and a sickness that was created by someone else. And we get rid of it by just creating the new abundant reality. So we don't need to deal with a lot of the old. Oh, we know what we wish, what is the good things for all. So we just create that, and we create it with the voice. So please sign, please autograph, please share, and the quicker we get this done all together. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you all for watching. Peace out. Thank you, Rick. It was great to host you. And that's it for now. Bye bye.
Thank you, brother. Love and light and peace. And we got this. It's imminent. And goodbye. We'll see you
Later.
later. Much gratitude. Thank you.
End stream.